Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Round Rock ISD Parent Program's Online Family Connection Series. We are so happy you're here. This evening, it's all about math talk. This session is being recorded, so you can use it as a resource. You can find it later on our Parent Program's website, and we'll also send it to you in a follow-up email. Again, we'd love to know who's with us tonight. So if you haven't already done so, please type your name and your child's school in the chat. And while you're doing that, I'll take this moment to introduce myself. My name is Kimberly Peterson, and I'll be one of your hosts for tonight. I'll be joined by Jackie, Kate, and Daisy, who will introduce themselves now, starting with Jackie.
Thanks, Kimberly. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be part of the parent team and to be sharing this info with you tonight. I love the topic of math talk with our littlest learners. Even though I don't have any little ones at home anymore, I have high schoolers. But, early math strategies weren't really something I heard a lot about when my kiddos were really little, even though I know they were happening at home. So I'm really eager to get your thoughts on this tonight. So just relax and enjoy. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Jackie. I'm Kate Gallinat. I'm also one of the parent liaisons on our parent team, and I'm excited to be here tonight. Thank you for joining us. I have 3 kids at home, a 6th grader, a 4th grader, and my 1st grader. So this is a topic that is really relevant at my house, and I am looking forward to sharing some strategies with you, but also hearing from our community what you are doing already at home. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kate. Hello and welcome, Round Rock ISD families. My name is Daisy Guerrero, and I'm one of the parent liaisons on the parent team. And just like Jackie, my kids are grown, but I do have a high schooler, so I still have a child in the school district. I will be your chat monitor this evening, and please know that if we don't get to all of your questions, don't worry, we will answer them all and send them to you in a follow-up email. And I'm so glad you're all joining us tonight.
Thank you, ladies. While you're only seeing the 4 of us tonight, we are a team of 8 here at Round Rock ISD. We serve various campuses across the district by connecting you, the families, to our wonderful learning happening at school. Our goal at the end of the day is to partner with you for your child's success. Tonight, we look forward to sharing and collaborating together. This is an interactive discussion, so let's try to listen with an open mind, use the chat feature, and try and keep the chat to the topic. Speaking of chatting, it's so easy and important to interact with us. Click on that little box with the lines. It's at the bottom of your screen and type away. Please don't be shy about using the chat. We're, like Kate said, really looking forward to hearing your ideas and your suggestions and tips of what you're already doing at home. But before we get to that, Jackie, can you start us off tonight by sharing our goals for tonight's session?
I would love to, Kimberly. Thank you. Our goals today are to understand what math talk actually means and how it supports your child's learning. And then we're going to explore 3 strategies to increase math talk in your home. But before we get to that, we just wanted to get some thoughts from our guests tonight. What pops into your head when you hear the words math talk? There's no right or wrong answer. We just really want to interact with you in the chat box. We really strive to just learn from each other, and we were curious about what your thoughts were about what math talk is. So please do go ahead and share those ideas in the chat. Again, no right or wrong. Just wanted to get your ideas. Daisy,
Right.
Are we seeing anything?
Absolutely, Jackie. So we have flashcards, numbers. Flashcards is something that I used to do with my kids when they were little, a lot of flashcards. We have addition and subtraction. Patterns, sorting.
Those are
Great.
all math talk. I knew math talk was already happening at home. Our parents clearly understand the concept, but let's just start with the basics. What is Math Talk? So Math Talk, like we've said, is something you're already doing at home with your little one. It's the concept of having simple conversations that include math words and math ideas. This pretty much happens naturally in homes without much effort, and we just want to reinforce and support what's already happening every day between you and your little one. So some examples of math words might be words of comparison like bigger, smaller, more, or less. These are just words that we use daily, right? And some examples of math ideas include maybe asking your child to sort or even graph, even at this age. So this seems like a pretty straightforward concept, right? It's pretty much it is. But the importance of Math Talk is backed up by data as well. And we love this quote that's coming up that summarizes research published in 2018 that captures why Math Talk. And that quote says, early math is a predictor of later achievement, not only in mathematics, but in school overall. So in other words, numeracy skills or math skills give children an important start to their learning and development. It also helps prepare them for daily life at all ages. And that could range from problem solving or handling money. I mean, the list goes on and on. So we found that data to be very meaningful, and we really hope you did too. So let's give our attention to Kate now, who's going to get us going with our strategies.
Great, thanks, Jackie. So there are lots of different ways to incorporate Math Talk in our daily lives. But tonight we have chosen 3 strategies to highlight, to look at, that can just be a good place to start. A good launch point for our families. So our first strategy tonight is to describe and sort. And I saw a little bit of that coming through the chat already, so that's perfect. You guys are right on track. But first, let's take a moment to watch a fantastic clip. And this is just a short little video clip. I see a few of you are on iPhones and different things, so don't worry. It's not going to be a long video, but this is a great clip of Math Talk in everyday life. And before we start the video, let me tell you, this is coming from one of our district resources called Ready Rosie. You may have seen emails if you were in our pre-K program, you might have access to this already, but we're going to highlight this resource later on in our presentation. So let's start with the video.
Sophia, I had so much fun on our nature walk, and look at all the leaves that we found. I wonder how many different types that we have. What do you think?
3 types maybe.
3 types maybe? Well, let's find out. You know what? We can sort and graph them to find out.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick a leaf. What can you tell me about this leaf?
That it's round on sides and
What color is it?
blue.
Green? Let's find all the leaves that look just like this green leaf, and let's line them up on our graph. Can you find one? There's one. Good job. I'm gonna move this one. What about this leaf? What can you tell me about this leaf?
It's red and round.
Red and round. Okay, let's find all the red and round ones and line them up on our graph. Good job. Now this is our last leaf. Tell me something about this leaf.
It's pointy at the top. It has a really short stem, and it's yellow.
It's yellow. Let's find our yellow leaves and line them up right there. Good job. Now, which leaf do we have the most of?
These, because there's 4 of them.
There's 4 of them. How many green ones do we have?
3, and yellow, and we have yellow ones or 2.
Perfect. Let's go find some more.
Okay, great. So that was an example of a way to describe and sort things outside. I don't know about you guys, but there's not many places to go right now, not much to do. So I loved this example because just right outside, you can grab things from your yard or from a nature walk, outside leaves, rocks, sticks, and you can actually have your kids at this age start to describe, sort, and even graph. So that is a simple way to start math talk. So I want you to think for a moment about what things you might graph, describe, or sort that are around your house. Take a moment and think about it, and then pop any ideas in the chat that you have. Ideas for us. I know for me, it helps to get new, fresh ideas of things to look for my kiddo who's 6, and sometimes I just run out of ideas. So pop anything in there about what you might describe and sort. Here at my house, we have Legos everywhere. So that's the first thing that pops into my mind with my son, is looking at our Legos to see what color, what shape, what size they are, and just talk about them and sort them. Let's see, Daisy, do we have anything going on in the chat?
Yes, we do, Kate. We've got a lot of great ideas coming in. We have shirts, blocks, food. Let's see, different coins can be sorted, arranged by their monetary value. Very good, like that one. Every day I tell my kids to count their Legos and any other objects they can count. Fruit in a fruit bowl, Cheerios, cereals, balls, blocks. Great.
Yes, I love that. And I actually noticed a question come in there about graphing. So I just want to address the question here. It says, can you explain more on how to explain how to graph these objects? Well, at this age, I know for my son, he's not quite ready to put numbers into graphing paper or anything like that, right? So in this case, we would line up our Legos. So let's pick all the red ones and make a vertical line on the floor, and then find the next color and make another line next to it. So really just using your hands and putting those objects maybe in lines to see how many you have is a good way that I've started over here, because definitely I don't want to get too far into teaching and graphing, right? We just want them to have fun, see those things in front of them. So I hope that answers your question a little bit there. So let's take a moment. I just pulled these out of the laundry, right? There's laundry everywhere at my house with 3 kids. But something fun you can do at home is to look at something like socks. I pulled out a couple of different socks. So as an example, go ahead and pop in the chat. How would you describe this sock here? Any ideas? What do you think? What would you say? How would you describe this? And let's see, Kimberly, Jackie, feel free to jump in. How would you describe this sock?
I think it looks warm.
Yes, it is a very
I don't know if
warm.
it's the color of it or the, I would also describe it as festive, maybe holiday.
Yes, perfect.
We've got some parents saying, red and white, pattern, soft, holiday
Perfect.
sock, Christmas.
All right, good. Let me move on. How about this one? It's a little bit lighter in color. I don't know if you can see it well from my lighting tonight, but how would you describe this one?
Piece of clothing.
Little or small.
Polka dots.
Yes, perfect.
Pink
Okay,
dotted.
good. Let me move on to our next one here. How would you describe this one? I don't know if you can tell, but it actually fits in the screen there. So that gives you a little clue.
I have boys, parents of boys. Looks like a boy sock, yes.
Yep.
Has a stripe,
Yes.
small.
Yes, perfect.
Little.
It's
It's
little.
little.
Perfect, you guys. Thanks for participating.
Nice.
So these are these are a good example of something you can grab from around your house, talk about, describe, and sort, and actually even graph if you have some that are the same category. So let's move on to our next slide. And there are so many different ways to describe and sort. Some categories you might think about, which already came up in the chat, are size, color, pattern, and even texture. So here are some words we thought of on the screen there, just some suggestions that you could use to just have some conversation about this. For example, you can see tiny and medium, huge, right? Striped and red polka dot, smooth and fuzzy and soft. So we want to encourage math vocabulary when you're talking to talk about those patterns and shapes that you might see. Okay, so this is just a fun way you can talk about math. Let's continue on to strategy number 2 tonight. And this strategy is to count everything, anything and everything. So let's watch another short clip that shows a great way to play a counting game in the kitchen.
Okay, so I just finished doing dishes, and since you're here with me, I thought maybe we might play a fun game. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. This is kind of a numbers game.
I know.
I just thought about it. And to start, first what we're going to do is we're going to count the dishes, okay? How many dishes do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4 or 5. Okay. So for this game, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide one in the cabinet, and you have to tell me how many I hid in the cabinet.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You think it's going to be hard or easy?
Easy.
Okay, well, you get to watch this first one. Okay, so I put this one in here. We'll just practice one time. Now I close up the cabinet. And how many did I put in there?
4.
I put 4 in the cabinet.
Yeah, 1.
I put 1 in the cabinet. Because 5, we started with 5 dishes. Minus 1 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Okay, this is gonna be pretty fun. Okay,
And hard, I bet.
and oh, you want me to make it really hard?
Yep, like a stumper.
Like a stumper?
That's like 100,000 times harder than finding like 20 dishes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're only going to work with 5. So close your eyes. I'm going to make it really hard because you asked for it. Okay. All right. You got your eyes closed?
Yes.
Okay. We started with 5, and now we have how many?
2.
2. So how many did I put in that cabinet?
3.
3. Okay. Let's see if you're right. There is 3 in there. Woo! That's right. Because you know what? 5 minus 3 left 2. And 2 was how many we had on our...
3.
3. Yeah, we hit 3. And it had left 2 on the counter, right? Okay. That's adding and subtracting.
So another great example of a way to make counting and even addition and subtraction fun at home. I love this example because it reminds me of me and my son a little bit. He loves to have a stumper, like he said there, make it harder, make it harder. So great example. So take a moment and think, what do you count around the house together? And put any ideas for us in the chat. Anything that you are already counting or you can think might be fun for you and your child to count at home. I know for us over here, we've been at home, right, a lot, and the holidays just passed, and actually Valentine's is coming up. So for us, we've had a lot of sweets around the house, and my kids definitely like to count how many candies there are, how many cookies we have, and especially, can we divide them equally between all 3 kids, and how many are we going to get? So let's see, are there any ideas coming through, Daisy?
Yes, Kate. I've got minutes of screen time. So minutes until dinner, days until spring break, Hot Wheels, bananas, steps to mailbox, oranges, apples, scattered toys in the room. A fun way to also encourage cleanup, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Pieces of puzzle, baby carrots while getting dinner ready, bouncing balls. They're great.
That's great. Wonderful ideas. I'm going to steal some. But this is a great opportunity to have some positive math vocabulary, math talk in your house. So let's go ahead and move to our next slide. As you're counting around the house, think about making those combinations of 5. This is something they're practicing in the kindergarten classroom. So we can support this at home by thinking about maybe snacks like goldfish. There you see 3 orange and 2 green, or maybe Legos, right? 1 and 4, or even just combinations of toys. I'm thinking of my son's trucks and cars and different combinations that we can point out. Another pointer here, you might think counting with your fingers is cheating, but actually this is a great strategy that's encouraged in the classroom. So encourage your kids to use their fingers to count and make combinations of 5. It's a great way to build math talk at home. Okay, so let's go on to our 3rd strategy tonight, and our final strategy for you guys. It is to ask open-ended questions. Now, what exactly do we mean by open-ended questions? These are questions that cannot be answered by a simple yes or no. These questions, they help children to explain their thoughts, encourage them to say their ideas, and give them a chance to think through their answer. So let's go ahead and watch our final video clip here about open-ended questions in action.
Hey guys, while Mama is filling paperwork for the doctor, let's play a game. It's a silly game, all right? It's called Would It Work? All right? I go first, all right? Would an elephant fit in the car?
No.
Why?
It'll crash down.
It will crash down.
It
That's
won't
a good-
It's too
It
big.
won't
It's too
fit.
big to fit in the door.
But it's not too big to fit in the zoo.
Okay,
They go in the
okay.
zoo.
I'm easy. I'll give you another one. Could 1,000 cherries fit in a bowl?
No.
Why?
Because some of the cherries will fall on the floor.
Yeah, cannot eat on the floor.
Can't lay on the floor. That's right. Okay, you got one?
Can 100 people fit in an elevator?
Can 100 people fit in an elevator? What you think?
No.
Why not?
Because the elevator, because I think the elevator will, like crash down
It'll be too heavy?
and break, and all the people won't go up. They'll just crash all the way down.
Yeah, it'd be too heavy.
Everybody would be squished.
So I loved this example here because first of all, they were out and about, right? They were at the doctor's office. So what a great time that you can bring up math talk and ask some fun questions, play a game like, would it work? So I love that example. So here on the slide, you'll see 2 photos, and I chose these photos myself because these are times around my house when I found that I can ask these type of questions and get my kids thinking. So we've been baking a lot of cookies. We've been at home. Actually, my kids are baking cookies right now. So we definitely have cookies around a lot, or maybe you even have Play-Doh. But when I was doing the dough with my kids, I noticed that each one of them put the cookie cutters in the dough a different way. And my 6-year-old wanted to take the biggest cookie cutter and stick it right in the middle. And, my 6th grader was a little more thoughtful about it and wanted to make as many candy canes as possible. But this gave us a great chance to ask, where did you start? Can you explain this to me? Is there another way to do it? And really got my younger child thinking about the different combinations of the cookie cutters in the dough and how to arrange them and fit them different ways. So I encourage those types of questions. There's not a right or a wrong answer. It can go any direction. The other picture there is blocks. And I know our kids this age love to make towers, build blocks, use Legos. Another great opportunity to ask, where did you start? Can you explain it to me? I know my son always wants to balance the blocks and see how far we can balance them up. So I ask him, what if we add another on this side? What do you think will happen? And of course, it's fun to have the whole tower fall sometimes, right? When I make a bad suggestion. But it doesn't matter if the answer is what the answer is. We're just talking together about math ideas. So I hope you find that these 3 strategies are clear and simple and ways that you can encourage math at home. I'll pass it to you, Jackie.
Thanks, Kate. I love those. And I think you'll probably agree with me that asking open-ended questions, that's a parenting pro tip at any age, I think, right?
Definitely agree.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as usual, our time just flew by. It always does, but we thought it important to take a minute to recap. So what is Math Talk? They're simple conversations that include math words and math ideas. And why Math Talk? Because exposure to early math concepts promotes a child's math confidence and supports problem-solving skills. And the 3 strategies we went over were describe and sort, count everything, and ask open-ended questions like, would it work, or where did you start? So there's no particular order to these strategies. They're 3 simple tools to use anytime, any place. So now I'll hand it over to Kimberly to wrap us up.
Thank you, Jackie. I also love those videos and wonder as I watch them, where were those when my kids were young? Such great ideas. We really hope that you feel empowered to use these strategies in your daily conversations with your kids. As Kate showed us, it doesn't need to be a math lesson, just a simple conversation. Before we let you go this evening, there's a very short, now 4-question survey that Daisy put in the chat for us. We would really appreciate it if you could click on that survey and answer 4 simple questions. What did we do well tonight? What could we have done better? What future sessions would you like to see? We plan these sessions for you, our family. So we want to make sure what we're talking about with you and sharing with you are things that you're interested in. And then the last question that we just added is about the Ready Rosie, the videos that we showed tonight. There is a whole collection of them, and we would love to share them with you if you would like information on how to get a login. Like Kate had mentioned earlier, our pre-K families already may know about them and have access to them. Your teachers have that information, your login information, but if we've got kinder families with us tonight, just click that box on the survey and we will make sure you get the information to have a Ready Rosie account. Thank you again. Like Jackie said, our time has flown by as it always does. Thank you for being with us tonight. We have one more exciting new thing we'd like to share with you, and it's our new writing station. It's called Prose Prose, and it helps you, the parent, foster a love of writing in your child. On the website, you'll find engaging little videos with great ideas, as well as tip sheets that you can download or bookmark to guide you along the way. You can register on our parent programs website, which you'll see on your screen now. And also on there, you'll see our upcoming sessions that we have planned for you. So we hope to see you again soon. Stay safe, stay well, and good night.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you for joining us. Good night.
On behalf of all of us, thanks so much for being here. Stay safe. Have a good night. So glad you were here.